Hello you six beasts and welcome back to War Thunder, and welcome to a special little quick video in which I'm going to show you 2 out of the 3 new Squadron activity reward vehicles. Welcome to Wally! This is the M901 ITV. That Lorraine is not looking too well at the moment. This is the Squadrons tank. There's also a Squadrons ship, the Pr.35, which I'm going to show you in a bit, and a reward plane, the Firecrest 38, 48, I'm pretty sure it's called. Hold on, let me just quickly check. It is the Firecrest, yes, B48, which apparently is just a slightly better firebrand, and as such, I'm not really interested in it, and I can't even show it to you anyways at the moment. So you might be very confused right now. What is this all about? What is this vehicle? How do you get these? Well, let's get to how you get these vehicles in the first place. Gaijin is introducing a new mechanic for Squadrons, in that it's changing how activity is calculated. No longer do you have to do only squadron battles. You can actually just play random battles by yourself and just be in a squadron, without actually having to actively interact with the squadron by itself. And by getting enough activity, you can actually spend those activity points on vehicles such as this rank 6, it's even a rank 6 American ATGM SPG. As you can see, the M901 is based on the M113 APC chassis, the same chassis as used by the M163 SPAA. It has some decent mobility, but instead of having a Vulcan on the top, you have a twin-barreled tow launcher. These are even ITOs with about 650mm of penetration, I believe. In fact, let's just quickly check the penetration by trying to go through a mouse, so you can see what kind of power these ATGMs have. Now keep in mind, we don't actually have any idea of what the battle ratings are going to be. Ooh, that went straight through. And we don't actually know if it's going to get the premium reward or anything like that. The only thing we know so far is that this is going to be in the premium section of the tech trees when you get it, outlined in green instead of yellow like the premiums. We don't have any idea if it's going to get any premium bonuses though, but knowing Gaijin, probably not. Now you might be asking yourself, what exactly is going on? How do you get these squadron activity points? Well, it's actually quite easy. Literally all you have to do is be in a squad and play games. Apparently you get 1 activity point for every 200 RP over a span of 14 days. And to get this activity you do not necessarily need to play in squadron battles. It is enough to be a squadron member and to play in random battles. I will, by the way, leave a link to this news post down below in the description so you can read up on it yourself with a bit more calmness. Now, we don't know the exact values that you need to spend on these vehicles just yet. All we have is a data mine by Mike10D, who mentioned about 5,000 activity points for this thing right here, the M901 ITV, which would equate to about 1 million research points that you would have to get. So, it isn't exactly easy to get one of these. You would have to go research about 2.5 to 3 top tier tanks, to get one of these. And you might even just have a better time doing that in air battles rather than trying to do it with tanks. From what I understand, you don't have any restrictions of what kind of vehicle you can play to get any vehicle you want, so you could technically just play aircraft and spend the activity points on the tank or on the ship. But if you want to get all 3 vehicles, it is going to be quite a bit of a grind. Speaking of squadrons, the activity points actually carry over. In case you're currently in a squadron and you're not quite happy with it, you don't need to be afraid of leaving it in fear of losing your activity points, because they do actually carry over. Now, for the time being, these 3 vehicles are going to be exclusive to squadron activity rewards. However, Gaijin is thinking about eventually putting them as buyable vehicles with GE down the line. So in case you can't get this thing, Wally, you will eventually be able to buy it with golden eels. That said, getting a rank 6 ATGM carrier for free is not a bad proposition. And given that you don't really need to do anything but just play the game, you don't have any tasks to do, all you really need to do is play the game and get enough research points, which you can just spend on your normal grind anyways. Activity points and research points are separate from one another. This is going to be a decent reward for the very dedicated players to actually play the game a lot. Now let's talk a little bit about this M901. As you can see, well, it is very early stuff. Most of the stuff isn't implemented yet. You can see that we have smoke barrel launchers in the front that we can't use at the moment. It does not have any kind of machine gun, so you can't spot enemies Unless this will be classified as light tank, but I'm not so sure about that. It might be, it might not be, I'm not sure just yet. As you can see, the launcher is of a pretty interesting design. Whilst the hull of the carrier itself is quite low, well, I mean, as an M163 it's very boxy, let's be fair. I like curves on my tanks, but come on, this is just way too boxy. The launcher itself is very high, like, I'm looking over this thing right now, being completely invincible, essentially. My hull is completely hidden by a good degree. Yet, I can actually look over this, and I can fire over this, and I can even use binoculars even over this as well. The gun sight is right there in those middle optics in between the two tow missiles. And this is very, very, very nasty. This is even worse than the Raketenjagdpanzer II, which already could hide the hull completely whilst firing the missile. This is even better because the missiles are even much farther high up. Now, I do not know what kind of damage model these are going to have. I would suppose that, looking at this, the launcher might be damaged, as you can see on the top. The turret ring not so much, the turret ring is way too low down below, so I can't really do that. The plate in the middle between the vehicle and the launcher itself doesn't seem to have a damaged model either, so probably not going to do anything if you hit that. There is a chance that maybe if you hit the missiles whilst they're still in the launcher, you could ammo rack them, you could detonate them, destroying the entire tank, because let's be really fair here, this is a very light-skinned vehicle. But there's a good chance that none of that might happen. And in the case that this doesn't get ammo racked by shooting the missiles, yeah, good luck with that. Just that, yeah. Of course, depending on the battle rating, it might just face very high tier tanks with ERA, which is pretty much going to be mostly immune against these tow missiles, but still, it is quite nasty. And even if you don't find tall cover or burnt tanks to hide behind, you also have the benefit of a very, very, very good gun depression. Look at that. It depresses further than this hill even allows me to crest. So I could just stay here and depress over it. Absolutely no problem. In fact, let me just quickly go over the hill over there, which is a bit more steep, and show you the gun depression. Well, launcher depression, technically, a bit more in detail. Okay, I think this is about the steepest hill we're going to find right here. This is something that would be the absolute nightmare of Russians that just could not get their guns down. Even most tanks could not get their guns down over this hill. As you can see, the stock tank has a bit of issues with horsepower. We can't quite crest this hill. But... hold on, there we go. Just a little bit more. This is the gun depression we have right now. Look at that. Just look at that. Look at the angle of the tank, look at the angle of the launcher. And we can fire over it. Oh god. Although, the missiles seem to be having some issues. There we go. Yeah. This thing is going to be a bush monster. A hill monster. It's going to be a hill climb monster. It's going to be a mountain goat. Next up, I'm going to show you the Pr.35. This is the Soviet ship reward that you can get from squadron activity points. This ship is armed with two twin-barrel 76mm gun, automatic gun turrets, which fire quite quickly, as you can see. These are the same guns that are so deadly against PT boats. And you can actually use effectively against enemy destroyers as well. These will have HE gun, HE shells, and likely some fused HE shells as well, so you can use them against aircraft if need be. If you're not a fan of the guns themselves, you can also launch torpedoes. You have a single launching point in the back of the ship, back mid-section, with 5 torpedoes. You also seem to have some kind of bombs or mines in the background there. Those apparently are supposed to be anti-submarine rocket mines, or rocket bombs. Something quite weird. And you can also see those holes in the back. That might be just the most interesting thing about this ship. And that, I thought at first that those would be rearward firing torpedo launchers, for example. But that wouldn't make much sense, really. You already have the torpedo launcher up top. I thought that maybe it was going to be for the exhaust of the engines, but no, the exhaust of the engines comes out those holes on the side, as you can see. So what exactly is that? Well, this ship has a twin propulsion system. In that you have the propellers, powered by 2 diesel engines in the bottom, and you also have gas turbine engines. Yes, these apparently are going to be gas turbine engines firing water jets. They are not quite modeled in the game just yet, so we can't actually use them. But this might provide a decent speed boost for this particular ship, and definitely a sight to behold. Ooh, I wonder actually if you could maybe try and extinguish fires of tanks with these ships in a custom battle. Overall, it's a pretty interesting vehicle. Now, I don't have any armor values or anything like that. You can see the X-ray right here in case you are interested. MRX are right below the gun turrets. I do like the turrets, I do like the guns. It does have some decent mobility. I believe I could get it up to about 65 km per hour in realistic mode, which is not too bad of a decently big ship. I would say that this thing is going to feast on PT boats, but probably have a bit of an issue with bigger destroyers and light cruisers, where the armor is just going to essentially eat up your medium caliber HE shells. Take that, you silly house! Wow, he's still alive. Damn. Sadly, I couldn't get footage for the B-48 Firecrest as it didn't work with this kind of user mission. I will try to get some footage on that later on if it appears in the dynamic campaigns, as I usually do when it comes to aircraft, but that is a bit more random and not so much controllable by myself. So you could have some more footage of the M901 ITV as B-roll footage for the outro. Now, I am going to make an announcement! Yes! As some of you might know, I have my own squadron, which only I am in at the moment because it is locked and I created for World War mode, which never actually came along. Which, by the way, where the fuck is World War mode? Anyways, I'm going to be opening the squadron. For everyone of you who doesn't have a squadron right now and doesn't want to really have responsibility in the squadron with having to deal with squadron battles or anything like that, and just wants to be able to get one of these reward vehicles by yourself, you can join mine. I will be posting the name of the squadron down below in the description. It should be called MikeGoesBoom. You will be seeing the information on the screen and in the description of this video. So if you are interested to join, just send an application. It will be essentially come first serve, or first come first serve. Yes, that's the right order to say those words. I'm going to be announcing this on Discord first as well, so there's a good chance that by the time you're watching this video, most of the places will already be occupied by the people on Discord, which, by the way, why you're not in my Discord yet? You should be there, see? You could be in my squadron right now if you were in my Discord. But yes, there isn't really going to be any rules for the squadron. We're not going to be doing any big events with the squadron or try to compete in tournaments or anything like that. The only thing I really want of you is to not be a dick, not break the game rules, not give a bad name to the squadron. Other than that, I'm not really going to be too fussed with it. Don't you worry about it. Oh god, I think we're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. Enemy spotted. That's the Centurion. Boo! Yeah, against lower tanks, these missiles are quite nice. I do have to give them that. Oh god, there's a lot of them. Load! Load! There you go. Ooh, that wasn't quite a kill. Let's get this guy. That wasn't a kill either. That might have been a kill if it didn't get himself by the engine. Where the hell are they running to? Oh shit, there's a guy right in front of us! Boom! Alright lads, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. If you're interested in joining the squadron, just send in an application. I will be going through them for the next couple of days. This has been a very quick and rough video, I'm sorry about that, but I don't have much time today and I just wanted to show you these vehicles. Tell me what you think about them in the comment section down below, if you're going to go for any of them, if you think the requirements are a bit too hard, or well, too time consuming, and what you think of Wally, and the potential implications that this launcher has by being able to completely hide your hull and make you essentially invulnerable. Yeah. We'll see what the battle rate of this thing is going to be. But anyways lads, if you enjoyed this video, do please leave a like, it really helps out the channel. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe, more content is coming along the way. And maybe if you're really interested and invested, consider clicking that notification button, just because the sub boxes don't seem to work half the time. Many people didn't get the subs of the last video, which makes me sad. YouTube, why? But anyways lads, my name is MikeGoesBoom, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. No! Wally 2! Why?
You can lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines with your shattered frame of mind. that you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find